On today's video, we're going to be talking about how to write equations of lines, and there's a couple different types, but we're going to start with slope-intercept form. So on page 94 of your notebook, you have a foldable that is labeled y equals mx plus b, and we're going to describe what each variable or piece of this equation represents. So in a story, your y would be your dependent variable. The m is the rate, so maybe it's $5 per ticket. So the 5 would be the rate. The x is your independent variable, which would be tickets. And then the b is your starting point. Now your plus can actually be a plus or a minus, and in actuality, plus b, all of that is your starting point, not just the b. So if your starting point is a negative number, you would be subtracting the b at that point. In a graph, the y represents a y-coordinate. The m represents your slope, kind of like the mountain that I showed you a few videos ago. The x represents the x-coordinate, and the b represents the y-intercept. So all of this information needs to be added onto your foldable, and we're going to see how all of this connects to what we've been doing the past few weeks in class. I'm going to show you a quick example of a line and me writing the equation for this line. So the equation is going to be in the form y equals mx plus b, or slope-intercept form. The y equals stays, and then we focus on the m, or the slope. Well, that I need to know my rise is 6 units from one point to the other, and my run is 6 units. So slope was rise over run, or change in y over change in x, which in this case would be 6 over 6, and 6 divided by 6 equals 1. So my slope is 1. My x stays because it's the variable, so it's going to stay there. And then I look at my y-intercept. Well, my y-intercept is 0, 1. So since it's positive, I'm going to add 1 to my 1x. And normally we don't write 1x because it's an understood coefficient, so we would rewrite this as y equals x plus 1. We'll be doing a lot of this over the next few days, so you'll get very good at it. But I did want to show you kind of that the y equals and the x stay there, and this is kind of like a template for writing the equation. So the big idea is that slope-intercept form is like a set of directions for graphing a line. The b tells you your starting point, and the m tells you the rate of change. And like I said, we'll do a lot of this together in class. And so on page 94, you should have this information written down so we can get started on practice problems.